So we've seen how the simplex method works in two variables, but we said the main benefit of the simplex method is when we have three or more variables. So let's look at an example to where we have three variables. We're maximizing the profit function x plus 4y minus 2z. The constraints are the 3x plus y minus z less than or equal to 80, 2x plus y minus z less than or equal to 40, negative x plus y plus z less than or equal to 80, and of course our typical constraints x, y, and z must be greater than or equal to 40. So our first step is to add our slack variables. 3x plus y minus z plus u is equal to 80. 2x plus y minus z plus v is equal to 40. Negative x plus y plus z plus, I say w is equal to 80. And then we'll move everything to the other side of this profit function. So we can set it equal to 0. That will give us a negative x minus 4y plus 2z plus p is equal to 0. Okay, so now we can write this as our matrix 3, 1, negative 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 80, 2, 1, negative 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 40, negative 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 80, and negative 1, negative 4, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. All right, now that we have that, I want to give myself a little more room here. So that we have some scratch work area. All right, so we're going to take the most negative column, divide each number on the right side by the entry in the second column. All right, all these are ones, right? So my ratio is going to be 80, 40, and 80, right? So I'm going to take the smallest one. So that's going to be the 40. All right, so I'm going to pivot this one. Well, that's already 1. Okay, so that's one less step that we have to do in this case. All right, so our next step is to force everything else to be zeros. All right, so I'm going to take R1 minus R2, R3 minus R2, and then R4 plus 4 times R2. All right, so I'm just subtracting. I'm subtracting R1 minus R2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Negative 1 minus negative 1 is 0. 1. Negative 1, 0. 0. 80 minus 40 is 40. R2 stays the same. All right, R3 minus R2. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus a negative 1 is a positive 2. 0. Negative 1, 1, 0, and 80 minus 40 is 40. All right, then R4 plus 4, R2. Might write this one out, a little bit more work involved. So R4 is negative 1, negative 4, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. And 4 times row 2. be 8, 2, -2, 0, 4. Let me back up here. What did I say? 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 4, that should be 4. 4. And then -4, 0, 4, 0, 0, 160. So 7, 0, -2, 0, 4, 0, 1, and 160. All right, we got all ones and zeros in that second column. All right, now we still have a negative in that third column, and we need to find a pivot. Okay, so we're going to take the smallest ratio, and let me say the smallest positive ratio. All right, this one is 4 divided by 0, which is an undefined number. 40 divided by a -1 is a -40, and 40 divided by 2 is 20, right? So we're looking at the smallest positive number, or the smallest positive ratio. So we're going to use this as our pivot then. Okay, so we want that to be a 1, so we will multiply by 1/2 by that row 3. Everything else stays the same. We're multiplying by 1/2, so -3/2, 0, 1, 0, -1/2, 1/2, 0, and 20. Okay, now we want everything else in that column to be zeros, right? We want this to become a 0. We want that to become a 0. So we're going to take R2 and add R3 to it. And then we'll take R4 and add 2 times row 3 to it. R1 already has a 0, so we're not going to do anything with that. So row 2 plus row 3. I'll write this out on the scratch area because it's just so easy to make a mistake on these calculations. It's very beneficial to be organized, take your time, make sure that you've got everything set up correctly. 2 minus 3/2 is 1/2. 1, 0, 0. 1 minus 1/2 is 1/2. And 40 plus 20 is 60. R3 will remain the same. And then R4 plus 2 times row 3. Times row 3. 2 times row 3. So -3/2 times 2 is -3. 2 there. 0. -1, 1, 0, and 40. 4, 0, 0, 0, 3, 1, 1, and 200. All right, so now we look at that last row and we see that we have no more negative entries, so we are finished. Okay, so we need to interpret what this solution is now. Now, what's different about this problem is we didn't have all of our columns to be pivots, right? So we have our, right, this is X, Y, and Z, our first three columns that we're interested in, not really so concerned about the U, V, and W columns, our profit column. Okay, so we had Y and Z columns as our pivots, right? So we're going to have a solution there, but we never got off of the X axis. We never used this X column as a pivot, right? So what that means is that since we never got off of the X axis, our X value is going to be 0, right? The X variable does not contribute to the maximum profit. Okay, so we leave that at 0, even though there's a 40 here, right? Because we didn't take this to a unit vector for that X column, we have 0 as the entry for the X. But then we still have 60 for the Y and 20 for the Z to give us a maximum profit of 200, right? So we're really we're throwing out this X column and that first row. So 0, 60, 20 maximizes our profit of 200.